WEFM, the new fresh sound. WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
The time is now 7:45 here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we're back this morning with Activated Mornings. So one of our WeFM listeners has put us on and let us know of a black pioneer in engineering, Marian Rogers Crook. Marian Rogers Crook is a vice president of engineering at Google, and she is most known for making calls happen over the internet instead of phone. Today, the widespread use of that technology is vital for remote work and conferencing. And it's important that we acknowledge our black inventors or pioneers, because if we don't do it, who's going to do it for us? And it's Black History Month. I'm going to put that out there. Black History Month. The month of loving black people.
Oh, that's how you tie it in?
It's the month of loving a black people.
Try play smart.
So right now, okay, I had this story right in front of me and I don't know where it went. You have it. You have it there. The drowning.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
all right.
Take the lead there with the drowning for me, please, Roleza.
As I post this, 1 second. Send. All right. So reading from Eyewitness News, headline: Bagger Fisherman Drowns in Cumberland. All right. A fisherman from Central Leeward town of Barley is believed to have drowned during a fishing expedition in Cumberland on Wednesday. Eyewitness News understands that the deceased was a member of a seine crew that was fishing in the North Leeward community. Sometime during the expedition, the team realized that the fisherman was missing and his body was later retrieved from the sea. Police have been notified and are investigating. Yeah, so it's quite unfortunate, quite sad. And I think, it's not ironic. What is coincidental? Remember the first road fatality that we had, which was last week. The person or the group of persons where they were actually on their way to fishing in North Leeward, and then we have to hear of this particular situation happening, this incident happening yesterday as well. So of course we are extending our condolences to the family and even to the friends and the crew members, because I can't imagine that. You go as a group together and realize somebody is missing, and then to realize the severity of the reason why the person is missing, So I guess to all fishermen, all fisher folks, be safe out there. It's probably like one of those jobs I'm not sure if I could ever really do. You have to spend long hours out at sea, sea conditions can change and that sort of thing. And sometimes I wonder if we show as much appreciation as we really need to our fisher folk, So just saying to be safe out there, those on the sea.
Yeah, fishing is a very important part of our Ministry of Agriculture, and we really need to acknowledge fishermen more and more and see how well we could place measures to ensure their safety. In different news, there's a story that I find particularly interesting on Eyewitness News, which is headlined, PM disappointed with slow pace of government-funded road to Sandals. So the story reads, Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves says he is disappointed with the slow pace of work on EC 3.1 million concrete road his government is building from Pembroke to Sandals Beach Resort in Buccament Bay. Gonsalves said on radio on Wednesday that the road is 2 months behind schedule, 29 days before the resort is scheduled to open for the hosting of the Hemispheric Summit. There's just one area of disappointment I have about what's taking place. You know, the road, which we have the responsibility to build, surface it, concrete it from up the main. They should really have finished that since November, and they are pushing it really too far down the line, the Prime Minister said on his weekly appearance on state-owned NBC Radio. And the consequences of that would be you won't have the extent to do the landscaping along the way, which would have something very beautiful. Which would have been something very beautiful, he said. The resort is slated to open in March 1st for the hosting of the Summit of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, CELAC, then officially on March 27th. What are your thoughts, or you want me to read some more?
You could probably read some more.
Okay, so the PM said you're still going to have a grand entrance, but it would have been better from that standpoint, referring to what summit delegates would experience on the road to the CELAC summit. He said that he was going to talk later on Wednesday to the Minister of Transport and Works, Deputy Prime Minister Montgomery Daniel, who had just returned from an official trip overseas. There is still going to be a good entrance, but I would have wished to have it been done earlier. And I have been given some reason why, but I am not satisfied that all those reasons are cogent.
And he says, I don't want to say anything about a contractor or anything like that. I'm just talking generally about my disappointment in that regard, that specific regard. And I'm hoping by talking about it, it will have persons ginger up themselves a little bit, he said, even as he noted that Sandals is investing over $200 million on the resort. Right? I think we could probably leave it there. My thoughts on it is that
well, before that, we have to mention,
we
have to mention that Eyewitness News noted that persons familiar with the construction said that it is hindered by the heavy flow of traffic to and from the resort.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when I first read it, I chuckled at the headline because I was like, oh boy, PM, you understand how we feel, because it ain't easy for the rest of us who have hopes and dreams and aspirations and looking forward to and excitement and expectations and all those nice words, about many of the roads that we drive on here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, So when I read it, I chuckled at the headline, because I said, okay, well, no, he could enter into how the rest of us feel.
No, he's a man of the people. He feel what the people feel.
Yeah, but okay, so yes, I note the reason for the delay in terms of there being, okay, so it seems as though the work is impacted or hindered because of people passing on the road, right? The road is still in use. But there are times when I really wonder, like sometimes when, and I try sometimes not to compare ourselves with more developed countries, right? But sometimes you see like a road might be damaged in, is it China, Japan? Anyway, from social media images, right? So you would see like a road has been damaged today, and like within the next 2 days, it has been repaired. Yes, I know that the resources may be different. Yes, I know that the workmanship might be different. But I also wonder sometimes too, if a deadline is given, right? Do we try to find ways to mitigate around the problems that we face? So yes, if the road the traffic on the road is impacting the speed in which the road is being done, is it a case where you can actually have persons working extended hours, right? Can they work overnight? Is it possible for them to work overnight? Find ways in which to get around this solution, because a 2 months delay is a significant delay in my opinion. So there are times when, yes, I know we are accustomed to working a particular schedule, a particular hours of work. But do we try to find ways around certain solutions? Because sometimes we can't go about doing things in the same old way in which we've been used to, and if something is as important as the opening of Sandals, right? The fact that there is a meeting, and a very big meeting that is scheduled to happen, find a way around it. I'm not even sure if I'm making it sound too simplistic. I'm also not even sure if we're given all of the information in the article, but based on what is contained in the article, that's just one of the things that I could probably put out or suggest.
So I saw a number of videos going up on social media from PM's visit to Sandals. It seems that they took a few ministers. Camilo Gonzalez was there, and who was the other one? I think Soboto Caesar. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I remember seeing Camilo for sure. There was students from the technical college who seemed to be on a tour, and from what I saw, it's the same as the comment that I'm seeing on WhatsApp there, that it doesn't seem like Sandals would be ready for the time that they're promoting it will be open. But maybe we just saw one section. Who knows? Maybe there's a section that's going to be operational for the time, and they just continue construction. My opinion on this is, for years, this road has been a dirt road. It's been usable, but it's been inconvenient. And I myself use this road since it's been under construction, and there is a very heavy flow of traffic there. I think Pinchas has his business down there. The contractors or just workers at Sandals, they use that road frequently. And I remember when I went there, there was...
So they used that road instead of the back road that was used for Buccament when Buccament Bay
Well,
was
that wasn't...
resort
Well,
was
this was the
open?
back road. Buccament Bay, that road
Right,
was the front.
right.
But that road is also quite horrible. I was there yesterday. That road is not nice. There are two ways to get down there via that road there at the what was it, a polyclinic?
Yeah.
At the polyclinic there. Those roads are horrible, and tourists are already there. Yesterday I went to Buccaneers Beach. The beach at Buccaneers there was filled with foreigners. And these are the roads that we travel to these restaurants on. And then there's the restaurant for I assume is your friend Shika's restaurant there as well. There are different businesses popping up. There's the schools there. Why are these roads in this state?
But you know, I would say this though, Ari. I was actually surprised that it took the opening of Sandals for the road to be done. Because I always thought that when Buccament Bay was opened, that road that is from Duncan's Furniture go down. I always thought that was supposed to be the main road. You know, because I lived just above the road there. So whenever it says I would see visitors being transported to Buccament Bay Resort, I always wondered, like, what was their impression when they have to use that road from the polyclinic? You know, because it looks like I'd have been asking myself, like, where is this? Because I'm seeing this picture of a particular resort and the way in which it looks, and then this is the entrance that is being used. You know, I always chuckled. I remembered when the West Indies team, they were staying at the resort. And it was so interesting that they washing down my vehicle and they walking up and down, you know, they doing exercises, and I'm there like, hi. No, good morning. We're there like, come. All right, so listeners, we have our guests taking their seats, so that's why we're a little bit distracted for the moment, right? Yeah, so it was always interesting for me to see, you know, like the visitors, like the West Indies cricketers just passing, they're doing the exercises, you know, like they live here in Vincy, you know. So it was always interesting for me, but I always wondered how come it was that main road was, and I'm calling it the main road because to me it's what it should have been, the main road to the entrance of the resort. How come it was never done?
Questions I need answers, but I guess whoever's in charge of that, it came to their attention late, and then here we are now. So I'm wondering now what the members of CELAC, what's going to be their impression when they have to drive down those horrible roads to get
and you know what it is for me,
Sandals.
Ari, you know, sometimes it's only when the PM says something in the media that work is done or things are addressed.
Yep.
You know, so is it a case where now that he has spoken on it, are we going to see action taken? You know, and it shouldn't have to be that way. You know, you have a project, you know that you have a project going on. I mean, you know, try to find ways around it. But as I said, maybe I don't have the full information. I'm just going on based on what's in the article. But yeah.
I wish he spoke about the back roads too. Not just this. I wish he spoke about
so this is more important right now. Remember, I chuckled when I said our other roads weren't being done, you know? So yeah.
What? I'm wondering how far along it is, because I haven't been down there in a while. I'm really wondering how far along it is, because from the photos, well, no. Yes, Eyewitness News has photos here from up to Wednesday, yesterday, where they're showing that it hasn't even crossed the first bridge. The pavement hasn't even crossed the first bridge as yet. So,
There will be action on it. Trust me, go finish in time.
yeah,
Right?
high hopes. Yeah, more high hopes than me.
Yeah, man.
But the time is now 8 o'clock. We'll be back when we return. Sorry, we'll be back with a cup chat this morning. But right now, your time check was brought to you by New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact.